There comes a moment in life when a person notices something they once trusted, their own strength beginning to slip quietly away, and it can feel unsettling, even frightening, to sense that the muscles that carried us through decades of walking, lifting, holding, loving, and living no longer respond with the same reliability. And if you felt that slow fading, that gentle but persistent weakness in the arms when reaching for a cabinet or in the legs when rising from a chair, you are not alone. Because countless older adults experience this hidden decline called sarcopenia, a word that simply means the gradual loss of muscle that comes with age. And though the name sounds technical, the feeling is deeply human, deeply emotional, touching the very sense of independence we hold dear, and it's natural to wonder why it happens and whether anything can truly be done, especially when the body feels as if it is quietly surrendering. Yet the comforting truth is that this change is not a personal failure, not a sign that you are fading, but a natural shift in the body's internal chemistry, a gentle decline in the signals that help muscles rebuild after everyday use, a slowing of protein synthesis that begins in midlife and continues year by year, making the muscles more fragile, more easily tired, and more in need of support. And while this simple science may sound discouraging at first, it is actually the doorway to hope, because understanding the cause is the first step toward reclaiming strength. And one of the most surprising discoveries researchers have made is that certain natural foods, especially those rich in plant-based amino acids, can help revive muscle growth in ways that feel almost like waking up an old friend who has been sleeping too long. And among these foods, one tiny seed has steadily earned the admiration of scientists and elders alike. A seed so small you could spill a handful and think nothing of it, yet so powerful in its protein content that many now consider it more convenient, gentler on the stomach, and deeply nourishing compared to traditional options like eggs. And that seed is the humble hemp heart, a soft, nutty little gift from nature that offers complete protein, essential fatty acids, and minerals that help the muscles repair themselves quietly, steadily, consistently, without forcing the body to work harder than it wants to. And the beauty of hemp hearts is not only what they contain, but how easy they are to use. Each day, even for someone who feels tired or overwhelmed by complicated routines, all it takes is 2 to 3 tablespoons each morning, sprinkled gently over oatmeal, blended into a warm drink, stirred into yogurt, or even eaten by themselves if you prefer a simple start to the day, because this small act, this moment of mindful nourishment, build a rhythm, a soft daily signal to your muscles that they are still valued, still needed, still capable of growing stronger. And if you are wondering when to take them, morning is often best, when the body is waking, when the muscles are most ready to receive nourishment, and when the quiet ritual of choosing health sets the tone for the hours ahead, though taking them later in the day is also beneficial. Because the real power comes not from perfect timing, but from gentle consistency, returning to the seed day after day like watering a plant that simply needs steady care. And something beautiful happens when people begin this small habit, something they often describe not as a miracle, but as a gradual softening of fear, a gentle return of confidence, as the legs feel slightly more stable when standing, as the arms feel a little less tired when carrying groceries, as the breath moves more freely through the chest, because the body is no longer fighting exhaustion with every motion. And these changes come slowly, but they come, and they bring with them sensations that are easy to overlook at first, the subtle warmth in the thighs after a short walk, the feeling of being more grounded when rising from a chair, the quiet reassurance that the body is listening, responding, healing. And as weeks pass, many elders describe a renewed sense of connection with their own bodies, as if strength is seeping back in through the cracks of fatigue, as if the muscles remember what they were made for and are simply grateful for the nourishment they've been given. And this gentle progress becomes its own motivation, because improvement, you can feel real physical, comforting improvement, creates hope more powerful than any promise or product ever could. And even though life is full of changes we cannot control, there is something profoundly empowering about discovering that a simple daily habit, a small natural seed, can help restore a piece of yourself you thought was slipping away. And so if you find yourself worrying about decline, about mobility, about the fear of losing independence, or placing a burden on those you love, Let this be a quiet reminder that your story is still unfolding in ways both tender and strong, that the body has an extraordinary ability to respond when given the right care, and that choosing to support your muscles is not an act of desperation, but an act of love, a way of honoring the years you have lived and the years still waiting for you. And as you hold this thought gently, imagine the simple act of taking those hemp hearts each day. Imagine them as tiny seeds of resilience, each one carrying a message to your muscle saying, "Wake up, rebuild, rise again." And imagine your strength returning little by little, like dawn light filling a quiet room, slow but certain, soft but impossible to ignore. And as you feel these possibilities settling in your mind, let them offer comfort. Because even though aging brings challenges, it also brings wisdom, patience, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. And in that understanding, we find the courage to caring for ourselves with kindness rather than pressure, with consistency rather than force, and with gratitude rather than fear. So take this moment to breathe, to appreciate your body for all it has carried, and to trust that even small steps, small seeds, can guide you back towards steadier ground, renewed energy, and a life that still holds strength, purpose, and quiet joy.